Hey everyone, this year's spring break was fantastic. It was chill, low-key, beautiful, enjoyable. Let's get into it. Hey friends, it is Thursday, March 12th, and spring break kicks off today. I am so excited just because the past few weeks have been academically strenuous without a doubt. It's definitely been a whirlwind, but I have managed to get out of the workaholic mode and catch a break this week leading up to spring break. So that's been very, very nice, especially with daylight savings time this past Sunday and losing that hour. Y'all, I am still tired. So coming home this week and not having to do much homework has been an extreme game changer. I had a class from 11 to 12:15 earlier, and now it's about 12:40 roughly, and I have a break until my 2 p.m. class, which goes on until 3:15. And after that class is when my spring break will officially start because I have no classes on Fridays. But when I come back from spring break though, I will have to definitely do an updated day in the life college routine vlog for this semester because the last day in the life college vlog that I did was fall semester when I had different classes. Going back to what I was saying about not having much homework this week, that meant I was able to catch up with one of my best friends from high school while she's been home on her spring break this week. We knew each other when we went to the same middle school, but we never talked or became friends until sophomore year of high school. I can honestly say that our friendship has definitely been more like a sisterhood over the years. My opportunities to see her went from 5 days a week for 4 years to only seeing her for long breaks or holidays and whatnot. So I enjoy the times where we get to spend some time together and catch up on what's been happening in our lives. I love my sister so very much. That is my girl. Today, SGA and choir did an event together on campus called Grill and Groove, where SGA was serving food like burgers and hot dogs with chips on the side and sodas, while the choir sang songs that they've been working on, and they did amazing. And now I'm about to get into this burger because usually for my break time I pack a lunch, but since I knew that there was going to be food today, that was one less thing I had to worry about before leaving the house. But anything that involves SGA and food is always going to be good, especially when it's a cookout, grill out, something of that sort. So this burger is really good. I made it to Lit and Film. Class is in session. Today we are watching part of a film and comparing it to its short story that we've read and are writing down similarities and differences for our in-class assignment today. Fast forward an hour and 15 minutes later. It is 3:15 p.m. I just finished class, which means it is spring break. Let's party. Hey friends, it is Friday and I am feeling much more rested than I did yesterday, as y'all can tell. And weather is great, feels like spring. Winter and spring are definitely fighting for custody this week. It's dropped a few degrees from last week in the 70s, but hey, it's still good, it's still beautiful, and it's sunny outside, so I'm not complaining. But Mom and I, we are headed out to desperately get a pedicure because I haven't had one since before church anniversary and my ordination weekend and all that stuff. So I'm in desperate need of a pedicure, some self-care time, because as I've been telling y'all, even in last weekend recap, like I have been in workaholic mode, so I haven't had time to get a pedicure. As y'all know, I do my own nails, so getting a pedicure for me is very relaxing. And I started getting pedicures when I got my spinal fusion 7 years ago. Bending is not easy like it used to be, so I just let the people do my pedicure now, and then I just stick with doing my own nails because it's still something I like to do for my self-care time, just me uninterrupted. So that's what we're doing today. Today's a good day. Also, makeup is just like eating today, and this lip combo, yes. And I have posted a makeup routine for you guys so y'all can get in on this lip liner and lipstick and gloss for you girls who are interested in that kind of stuff. That is already up on my channel. Happy Sunday! Yesterday was chill day and now it's church day, my favorite day of the week. Y'all see my Sunday morning routine pretty much like all the time, so I just really wanted to make this vlog about spring break adventures and whatnot, but church still is a huge part of my life, which includes my home church that I'm about to go to and getting ready for, and then my online church that I watch. My online church, House of Hope Atlanta, had me crying this morning, okay? Goodness gracious. Let's watch now and debrief later.
Worthy is you deserve the praise. Worthy is the Lamb.
I just hope y'all soaked up this worship like I did. What a moment. I gotta get to church, but we'll pick back up on this later. Alright y'all, it's Sunday night. I'm doing my skincare routine, but I just had to come back as promised and say my second church, House of Hope Atlanta, wrecked me in ways that I just can't even explain. I'm still trying to recover as best as I can. On third Sundays, they have communion. They start singing for communion, and the next thing you know, you have people all across that sanctuary on their knees and in tears, as y'all saw. The shift was instant. It was a moment in worship where I literally found myself in complete awe of God in a completely different and new way. I'm just amazed. My heart is so full. It wasn't a moment of really asking God for anything, but just taking the time to acknowledge who He is. And to be overwhelmed by who He is just sends me into this extreme state of gratitude. Even Pastor Smith was bawling, which made me cry even more. Outside of my father, Pastor E. Dewey Smith is easily one of my favorite pastors and preachers ever. I've watched him since I was a little girl. I completely respect the way that he allows God to have his way. And the band, they always know how to play however they are being led to by God. And not only does Pastor Smith allow that, but he participates and he worships with us. He's not too big or rigid of a leader to where he can't show us how to worship God in spirit and in truth. My respect runs so deep for that kind of leadership. I'm convinced that I'll be replaying this sacred moment in worship over and over for the rest of this week. Happy Wednesday. What exactly do y'all think I've been doing the past 2 days? If you said chilling, then you know me so well. Today we are getting out the house because after a while it gets a little suffocating when you chill a little bit too much. I told y'all this was going to be a very chill spring break. I didn't know it was going to be like this chill, but I'm grateful for it because I know this time next week I will be in the grind again, wishing for a week like this one. Mom and I, we are headed out for lunch soon, and then we will be making our way to church tonight. Well, friends, it's Thursday. I've been doing some spring cleaning in my room and bathroom, and I'm just now getting ready to go out and pick up and drop off food for my godparents. My godfather just recently had surgery, so we are helping them out with dinner so that my godmom doesn't have to worry about meals, especially in this initial recovery phase. They've been there for me as godparents through so many different things, including my own surgeries, and this is just what family does. This is how we show our love and care. And then after going to drop off the godparents' food and spend a little bit of time with them, I am going to spend time with my other set of godparents. So today is just my day to enjoy being a goddaughter.
I told you I was going to come and see you.
Well, happy Friday. Come with me to get my hair done real quick and also do some prep for an event tomorrow at church. Flashback to yesterday, though. Getting to see both sets of godparents was so special. I see them a couple times a week just because of church, but just to be out of classes this week and spend more personal time with them has felt extra special and just good for my heart. I love my godparents so much. They don't replace the role of my parents, but just more so kind of like add to it with love, prayers, and support and guidance. And I'm so grateful to experience that in my life. Still in the conversation of family, March is special because it is Women's History Month and also just Women's Month period. And I wanted to take some time to highlight and honor the women who have played a significant role in my life to ways where thank you just doesn't even express the purest sentiments of gratitude for the ways that they've poured into me. Of course, my mom, Mima, Gigi, godmothers, aunts from church, and god sisters. Because of them, I am who I am. I make decisions the way I do because of them and what they've taught me. I am resilient, determined, and hardworking because of their example. I've seen the sacrifices and adjustments that they've made to just make it all work. And especially now as an adult, I enjoy learning from them because one day I know I'll be in their shoes holding down a successful career with possibly a family as well. So yeah, it's just a lot of great examples that I'm surrounded by. So happy Women's Month to my queens. All good weekends start with new music, and if you didn't know, now you know that I am a huge music lover for life. Music honestly makes whatever I'm thinking about in my mind sound good and just put together and organized. That explanation makes so much sense to me. But one of my favorite artists and vocalists has blessed me once again with a new album. Travis Malloy and his group, the Urban Worship Collective, released a record called Favor. I am so in awe, just like I've always been on everything and anything that Travis releases and works on. Like, it's so good, and it's out now on all music streaming platforms. Happy Sunday. Yesterday was busy from an event at church to spending time with some of my main squad, also known as my family. Spring break has been so chill. I cannot believe it's over pretty much already. I've enjoyed just chilling and not being on a schedule. It's been so lovely not having to do any homework at all, no essays, quizzes, nothing. It's just been a family-oriented and restful type of week, which I love and also needed. Today is somewhat heavy as it makes 3 years since my pop-pop passed away. This was my dad's dad. In some ways, 3 years has gone by fast just because I've done so much since then, like graduate high school, start college, travel to different places, become an ordained minister, and all these things. But on the other hand, it really feels like a day ago at certain times. I think part of me is kind of out of it just because there's days I feel like I'm still waiting on him to get back from going out of town somewhere, because he was a bishop, and so from time to time he would preach at other churches. And I just mentioned some of the monumental things that I've done since Papa passed away, and not being able to call him, or him just not getting to experience these seasons of my life has been challenging. No matter how much support I get in those moments from either parents, godparents, or just anybody, it will never replace or hit like how I got it from Pop. I sincerely love my life now and where I'm at, and I'm grateful to be in a much better headspace, but it will never discredit the reality that losing grandparents is just, it hits different. The past 3 years in life after loss has been a whirlwind. I feel like I've lived multiple different lives since March 22nd, 2023. So here I am again, stuck between another year without my hero and another year closer to seeing him again. Thank you guys so much for the love. This morning has been a whirlwind, as you can imagine, remembering all of the events of the day and the week and what happened while trying to get ready and show up and go to church and serve. It's a lot on days like this, but we have to put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Thank you all for joining my low-key boring week of spring break from home. Tomorrow I am back in the grind of homework and classes all over again. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week.